The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent daily plant the metropolis times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut, rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it is back to the rhymes. All right. I'm under the gun. I'm not just under the gun because I've got to write raps live. I'm under the gun because I'm on the time crunch. What's new about that? But I didn't want to try to do this at 9:30 or 10 or 11, so I'm here now. And I'm standing for the time being. Why not? It's something different. All right, let's go on down the list. So, School Us album sales. This is going to be I actually had to reconsider my plan. I said as soon as I got done with what I'm doing on the YouTube channel, I'd shift right into this, but I'm going to wait till the beginning of the year. Because right now, I was just talking to my man John. We're still going to get the full nickname for him, but it's hard right now. We're at, he's at Wallingford, but I'm at the post office regardless, and it's a little bit challenging. I can talk to people with my work. No one's harassing me. I'm not getting any heartache, but I want to get through this. And then my goal is to, let's talk about this. The goal is to make this video, but in between time, promote this. And the way I promote this is by inquiring what kind of music a person likes who doesn't know about this album or doesn't know that I do music. And the goal would be starting January 1st to do that once a day up until this is complete. And then I'd shift into this because I've done this already, but that kind of keeps the blood flowing. That's a bit of a challenge, but I know, especially if I'm not under duress, which is what it is, what keeps me from doing a lot of things is because I am under duress. I'm under duress. I don't feel I have the latitude to have discussions with people about things like what kind of music do you listen to? So we gotta get past that. All right. So I've been on the cusp, on the edge of trying to get with Noah, who I know has got the availability, and but I haven't sent that message yet because I just haven't 100% felt I've had the time independent of being under duress. All right. On to number 3. You will be glorified. So I believe next Sunday, we got this shadow. Next Sunday, maybe I'll sit down. We got this shadow. Next Sunday, sorry, I just don't like it. I'm going to go check out. I was referred to another church. Well, I was referred to a church by Ty over at Spirit 105.3. It's called Canyon Hills Church, Bothell. Like, hey, man, you should go talk to, I know this person. He's a musical director. So that was on my to-do list. I'm at church today, and one of the people I've known for years there said they've been attending that church frequently. Big church, good church. Go to a place like that, it's like, wow. I mean, apparently they have 4 services, 4,000 people, huge. You can get lost in there, but of course, for those who don't know, you go to a big church like that, it'd be like going to the University of Washington. No one had told me. I went to University of Washington my first year in college. I wasn't playing baseball, didn't even know they were trying out in the fall. Wanted to play, wouldn't have made it most likely, but I went to Shoreline the next year, much easier to make friends and meet people because it's a little community college and I'm playing baseball. But in a big school like that, no one said, hey, Jeff, you need to be a part of XYZ group. You need to get connected to groups on campus. Otherwise, you just show up and go home. And I lived local. I didn't live on campus. So same thing with a huge church, any church really. But you got to you can't just show up on Sunday. You got to, hopefully, ideally. But in that church, I will be looking to make connections with the musical director. And I think his name's Brian. And go from there. But a place like that. I mean, but by the way, when I'm reading First Chronicles with my daughter, it's a little tedious. You start reading all these names that are very obscure, but they mean a lot in the big scheme of things. But for someone who's not of that background, Jewish background, doesn't mean a ton. But God listed out the musicians, that David appointed. So music's critical in God and the kingdom. Ultimately, it's not just some thing to pass the time. It's actually very important, to the point where it said, I guess David was appointing, I don't want to say this wrong, but it was basically they would prophesy, they're prophesying and doing music, like harps, lyres. I don't even know what that is. Lyre. Yes, maybe I can look it up. And things like that. So it's a big deal. So anyway, and it's eternal when you're making songs that are eternal. So I'm very excited for that to move forward. So let's see what happens. So that's the day after Christmas. I've already talked to my daughter. She wants to go. And so we will be there. That's the plan, unless something changes, but I can't imagine it will. YouTube channel. So thank you, God. Thank you to everyone who's helped. Thank you to everyone I've shared the song Battle Hymn of the Parents with. I have shared it now with 100 people, and I've met my goal. Today I did that. That was number 100. So now I'm done with promoting that. And I really don't have much else to say about it. Like I said, I'm going to go. We've got 12 more days in this year, I guess, and nothing else. I'm not going to be doing anything out of the, I'm not going to be intentional about promoting anything from here the rest of the year. Rules of engagement. I don't have anything to say about that. Even though I'm working on my rules of engagement at work, cracking down on that mask. My God, Wallingford, I could not have to wear a mask in my case, but I'm having to do that at this annex. Man. Life is, I always say when it comes to jobs, they get worse typically, because you get into a job and you get used to a job, and over time, jobs, they naturally, there's erosion that happens in jobs. And comes Bellevue Ballers, which is better over time because it's build your own business, and jobs are the opposite, But I don't know if people expect jobs to get better, but again, my job improved because I changed stations. But from here on out, I'm certain I can say, and once I get the hang of it, it won't improve. There'll be restrictions placed. Now, I hope not. I pray for that not to be the case, but it's just been my experience. You're listening to a guy that's had well over 60 jobs. I was going to say something else. I guess no. All right. On to merch. Nothing to share with you there. Trump's going to thump. Nothing to share with you there. Complete songs I've made on YouTube. Nothing to share there. I think I'm pretty good. Yeah. If I were, the most likely movement between now and the end of the year, I think could happen here next Sunday. And then I'll keep you posted. And I've told you my plan for next year. Current events. The first thing that popped in my head just now is I heard a song from, I guess Jimmy Fallon's in on it, but Ariana Grande. She calls herself Megan Thee Stallion. I don't understand it. I think it's something to do with trying to get your attention, because I thought Italian stallion, some male thing, but it's a lady. What is that? I haven't done too much research, but they had a song. It was like a mashup. Holiday Vaccine. They are mixing them together. I don't know who's paying for that. I can only imagine. But that's it. Now, I noticed they didn't have Nicki Minaj on that song, so congratulations to her. It's just crazy. That's crazy. Colbert said his audience loves him and they're all vaccinated. That they kind of go together, I think, because I don't love him and I'm not gonna say. All right, so so I think I'm ready to write this song. I might go pretty far. I can't believe how early I am ready to start writing, but it's just kind of where I am right now. All right. I did the very beginning. I got to the very beginning. I probably didn't do a great job with the finishing the last song. It wasn't real clean, but I wanted to finish and get onto this before it slipped my mind because it was clearly in my mind, but it's not a hard song to remember. I did come up with another song yesterday. My daughter likes it already. I can't put it on this because I've already written down lyrics and stuff, so I can't make the rhymes while I'm under the gun or raps under the gun, so that won't count. But I think it'll be a good song for. She likes Twice. They're called. It's K-pop. It has that pop potential. So I haven't really had too many songs like that, but that's kind of cool. I think about Black Eyed Peas or somebody like that kind of song. All right. And there is a demand for it for sure, especially for ladies. They're like, well, a couple people at Wallingford, hey man, we want to dance in a video. Well, I gotta have a song that would be good for that. I have a couple ideas for that too. All right. So it goes like this. I'm calling it We Feel Sorry for You. So, and I will explain. I didn't get an opportunity to explain what I was thinking when I came up with these lyrics, when God gave them to me, actually. But it goes like this. LGBTQ. I think that's right. We feel sorry for you. So I didn't finish, but it goes like this. Do you feel sorry for you? For you? We feel sorry for you. I gotta be kind of nice on my voice. Rap from my diaphragm, rap from my gut. How do I deepen? How do I preserve my throat? I don't know. So maybe I can practice. Maybe I need a voice coach. But anyhow, because I feel it gets fatigue. And I think some of these radio people use throat relaxers or something. So I'm going to do ×2 on that. LGBTQ. We feel sorry for you. Do you feel sorry for you? We feel sorry for you. LGBTQ. We feel sorry for you. Do you feel sorry for you? We feel sorry for you. All right, so what am I saying? Well, I think someone, and this is where it's fun, because someone might say, I'm offended. What you're saying is offensive. That's fine. But I'm not saying it from my perspective. I'm saying it from the perspective of somebody who's trying to, now, I don't think I discussed this. So basically they have the conversion therapy, so-called. I did a little research and it popped up one discussing someone who came out of the gay lifestyle, and he said in his journey, he could still have same-sex feelings because that's just a part of his life experience and where he's at. That don't necessarily go away, even though he's got support to deal with it. But all his therapists that were Christian, he never felt judged. He never felt like they were trying to, I think there's a fear, and that's sadly a commentary on the way the gospel's been presented to a lot of people, in that it's fear-based, it's do's and don'ts, it's not relational. And that also applies here. And if I want to give some people the benefit of the doubt, and those who are on the outside of faith and have not had a good experience with people of faith, I extend a ton of grace to them. because that's their life experience. And maybe it is very unnerving, and they're not getting a good experience. So how can we turn that around? Well, that's where it takes time. It takes time. So, and I think I'd love to hear everyone's personal faith experience and testimony, because when you look at those that are hostile towards faith, maybe they had a bad experience. So I'm saying, not only so there are people that are working against God and his kingdom. They're working. I got a postcard. I was going to mention this. So my daughter will be entering high school next year. And there's an alternative public school close to my old high school, Garfield. It's, I guess I could say the name Nova. I mean, if you were to ask them what their objectives are, I can't, my daughter shredded it, so I don't have it. She doesn't want to go there. But basically, they're saying they want to reconstruct the world, basically, and deconstruct white-centeredness. And this is part of the postcard to recruit, patriarchal centeredness, let's say, these kind of things. Where we're looking at schools that are the opposite, and it's not white-centeredness, it's the opposite. It's character-centeredness. But again, this is the challenge we have with people are thinking superficially. And they're putting, and if you know the term identity politics, everything's external, superficial, nothing, there's no quality relationships. Everything's in passing. So I would hope and pray anybody who's feeling same-sex attraction can step outside of the narrative. And I understand I have challenges myself, but it's just and not everyone who has same-sex attraction is public about that. And those who are probably aren't planning on changing it necessarily. Those probably who are more quiet about it maybe are thinking in terms of maybe this isn't the way it'll end. There are people like Milo, if you know Milo Yiannopoulos, he actually has, I guess you would say, conversion therapy and all that. So that's what we want. I'm just trying to bring out. I want to do it in a song that says, basically, we feel sorry for you. And again, when you talk about separating parents from kids, the state getting involved, you can't, the idea that a pastor, two consenting adults, or maybe they're young teenagers, whatever, coming up, they're challenged by their feelings. They want to have, God only made one way possible for us to reproduce, only one. And that's when a man and a woman get together, and it's ideal in the bounds of marriage, before God and all that. So that's the ideal. And you've taken that away. And then they go to another step when you get to the trans and all that, you're stripping away everything that God's created. So that's the deal. So and it's basically feeling sorry for someone. They're feeling sorry for someone. I have a live studio audience. Okay. So anyway. So LGBT. So what do I want to say in the song? I haven't really thought through the verses yet, but it's going to be about how, because I would love to hear, because I talk about finding people. The first offense is XYZ. How do you do that? How do you go about that? Do you need a whistleblower? Yeah, I was at church and that pastor approached me about about conversion therapy, and I'm just wanted to report this person to you. So I don't know how that works, but a lot of these things are really hard to do. They just try to scare people. That thing makes me as sick as that squirrel on my right. Okay, yeah, comedy time. All right, excuse you. I'm having you're making it hard to concentrate. Excuse you. Okay. All right. So, uh, we feel sorry. Do you feel sorry for you? We feel sorry for you. So I will continue that thought. I don't know. Um, so I think they're making the case that they care about them. Okay. We feel sorry for you. You know how much we care. Let me do it something like this. I want. It's always about how much someone cares about them. Okay. And maybe on the surface it seems like that, and maybe an uninformed person might believe that, and they might believe they care. If they're uninformed. Okay. We feel sorry for you. Do you feel sorry for you? We feel sorry for you. You know how much. You know we. You know we care, don't you? You know how much we care, don't you? We just want you to be happy. Be happy. And I mean, it's arrogant. A lot of this is arrogance. I know a lot of people get into education for any number of reasons, but and they want to validate or project, maybe their own insecurities. We just want you to be happy. Just look how happy we are. There we go. You know how much we care, don't you? We just want you to be happy. Just look how happy we are. Uh, and just let the rest be history. And just let the rest be history. Just let. I mean, I'm not even writing right. The Just let the rest be history. Again, young, very young, lifelong. I mean, you think about a tattoo is a life. I mean, you can get them removed. Um, Anything like that. That's just. It's not. It's unending. It would seem. You know, here's the thing. In scripturally speaking, God does hold to account people who have influence. There's a higher standard, and I gotta believe in it. Thank God for educators who are doing the best and are well intended. But what if you're not, and you're taking someone down a road that is going to be hard to get out of? What it's not done without some potential eternal consequences. All right, just look how happy we are, and just let the gosh, that's hard to read. Just let the rest be history. The So I can't help myself. So the mystery is solved. We're your solutions provider. We'll focus on that. We'll just focus on that. And not you being a good divider of mathematical equations, of course. Mathematical equations, of course. Because we don't teach division. That's funny though, man. See how the rhymes just take you where you didn't know you're gonna go? Because we don't teach division. You sure don't. Okay. Teach division. Nor do we teach addition, subtraction, or multiplication. So how you liking your new math? Bringing a brain that's half. As effective as it could be. I'm just writing. I haven't even put numbers down. I'm just going with it. I need to do that more often. Not necessarily, but I'm just feeling it. As effective as it could be with all the restrictions that I placed on it. With all the restrictions that I placed on it. And I work myself silly indefinitely reconstructing my reality. And I think that's it for the day. I'm not going to be able to say too much, but basically what I was finishing with there was it's a lot of work. If you can learn about God and understand God, life's so much simpler. If you want to not have God in your life and not understand his ways, then you're going to be working the rest of your life to recreate reality. And that's not very good in my mind. I want to live a little simpler than that. See you next time.